Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video we will understand how to send Mailmodo campaign from Google Sheets. So in a Google Sheet I've added the lead details and in Mailmodo I have created a campaign. So my objective is to send the campaign to the leads whose details I've added in my Google Sheets. So now to do this I need to set up a connection between these two applications, for which I'm going to use this amazing automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect follows the concept of trigger and action. So here to do this, my trigger application will be Google Sheets and my action application will be Mailmodo. So if you want to learn more about this, follow me through the screen. In this video, we will understand how to send Mailmodo campaign from Google Sheets. So in a Google Sheet, I have added the lead details and in Mailmodo, I have created a campaign. So here my objective is to send this Mailmodo campaign to those leads. So now to automate this entire process, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect and this here is the landing page. So to reach here, you just have to type in pabbly.com/connect in your browser. Here you can see I've got two options. One is of sign in, the another one is of sign up for free. So if you have an existing account, you can simply sign in, or either you can sign up for free and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as I have an existing account, so I'm going to sign in. Now this here is the all applications page. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. In the meanwhile, subscribe to our channel. So this here is my dashboard, and now in order to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I need to give my workflow a name. So here I've named it as send Mailmodo campaign from Google Sheets. On my left hand side, you can see that these are the folders which I've created before. So I want to save this workflow in the folder named as Google Sheets to Mailmodo automation, because this is an automation from Google Sheets to Mailmodo, and now I'm going to click on create. So as I did that, now I've arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. So basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect on which this entire automation will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Action is an automated response of a trigger application, and in a workflow you can only have one trigger but multiple action applications. So now moving to my use case, that is to send Mailmodo campaign from Google Sheets. So now in order to automate this entire process, I will go to my trigger window and over here I'm going to search for Google Sheets as my trigger application, and here it is. And the trigger event will be new or updated spreadsheet row. So this trigger will start working whenever in a new row I'm going to add the data. So now moving to my action window, as I want to send the campaign which I've created in Mailmodo. So over here I'm going to search for Mailmodo as my action application. And the action event will be to trigger campaign. So this will trigger a transactional email campaign. So I'm going to select it. So now, as you can see that I have selected my action application and the action event along with my trigger application and the trigger event. So as my objective is to send Mailmodo campaign from Google Sheets, so firstly I need to establish a connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. So here you can see that a webhook URL is given and along with that a help desk is given. So read this help desk given below carefully, because this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge to connect your Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to show you the Google Sheet. So this here is the Google Sheet where I've added the lead details, and now in order to build a connection, I need to go to extensions. So here in extensions, you should make sure that you should have this Pabbly Connect webhooks extension. If you don't have it, you can simply go to get add-ons. And here you just have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. And here it is. So as you can see that I have already installed this extension. So it says installed. It is a very important part to have this extension in order to build a connection. So now I'm going to close this. So now I'm going to build a connection by going on extensions. Over here I will go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and now I will go to initial setup. So here in initial setup, I need to mention the webhook URL and the trigger column. So here it says the webhook URL will be set up on the below selected sheet. So over here in this Google Sheet, you can see that there is only one sheet and over here it is selected. Now for webhook URL, I'm going to take you to Pabbly Connect. I'm going to copy it and over here I'm going to paste it. Once that is done, now moving to the trigger column. So the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to webhook URL. So over here you can see that this Google Sheet consists of 3 columns. So C is the final column. So this will be my trigger column. So as I've mentioned the webhook URL and the trigger column, here I'm going to click on submit. And you can see that the setup has been configured successfully. So over here in Pabbly Connect, you can see that it is waiting for webhook response. That means now I need to do a test submission or record so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So from this Google Sheet, I'm going to send the test data. So I'm going to click on send test. And here you can see it says test data sent successfully. So as the test data is sent over here in Pabbly Connect, you can see the details. Here you can see the trigger column. This here is the spreadsheet name, spreadsheet ID, sheet name, sheet ID, row index, last name, first name, and the email. So over here that means I've successfully got the lead details in Pabbly Connect. So here that means the first step of this automation is successfully set up. So as I've got the lead details, now by using these details, I want to send the campaign that I've created in Mailmodo. So over here in this action window, firstly I need to establish a connection between Mailmodo and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on connect. And now if you have an existing connection, you can go with the same or you can simply add a new connection. So to add a new connection, I need to mention the API key. So I'm going to take you to my Mailmodo account. Over here, I will go to settings. And in settings, I will go to API keys. And over here, I'm going to create a new API key. So I'm going to give the name as latest. Here I'm going to click on OK. And I'm going to scroll down and here you can see that my API key has been created. So I'm going to copy this API key and over here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to paste it. And here you can see that Mailmodo and Pabbly Connect is successfully connected. So now moving to the campaign ID. So in this field, I need to mention the campaign ID. So I'm going to take you to my Mailmodo account. And over here, you can see that these are the campaigns which I've created before. But let me show you by creating a new campaign as well. So I've already created a template, that is this template by the name of bakery template. And this is how this template looks like. So I'm going to use this template in the campaign. So I'm going to take you to campaigns. Over here, I will go to trigger. And now I'm going to click on create trigger campaign. So here I'm going to select the template. Once that is done, I will click on next. Over here, I need to give my campaign a name. So I'm going to give the name as bakery campaign. And I'm going to mention the subject line as exciting offers for our dear customers. So this here is the subject line. So over here I've mentioned the campaign name and the subject line. This here is the from name. So now once that is done, I'm going to click on next. And I'm going to select on this webhook. So it says send campaigns from platforms accepting third-party webhooks. So I'm going to click on webhook and I'm going to click on next. And over here, I'm going to click on enable campaign. So here you can see the campaign name, subject line, reply to email, sender email, from name and the personalization. So in the template, I have used the personalization for mentioning the first name and the last name of the lead. So here in template details, you can see that over here, I've mentioned it as dear. Here's the first name and the last name, which will be visible as per the name of the lead. So this here is the template which I've added, and over here I'm going to click on enable campaign. And it says campaign created successfully. So that means the campaign is successfully created, and over here you can see that this here is my campaign ID. So I'm just going to copy it from here, and in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to paste it. So once that is done, moving to the email field. So over here, I need to mention the email address of the recipient. So in order to do that, I'm going to use this method that is called as mapping. So basically, mapping means to insert the data from previous step. So as I've received this email from Google Sheets, so over here in this field, I have mapped it. Now moving to the subject. So the subject line is optional. So it says if the subject is not provided, it will use the original subject set in the campaign. So that means the subject line which I've added in this campaign will be used over here in this subject. So that is why I'm going to leave this blank, and I'm going to use the original subject line which I've set in the campaign. So now moving to the personalization fields. So as I've mentioned that in the template, I've mentioned the fields for first name and the last name. So over here, I need to mention those. So in this format, the personalization fields will be mentioned. So again, from the response received, I'm going to map the first name, and now I'm going to map the last name. So this here's the last name. So this method of mapping is important so that every time you're going to receive a new response, so that response could be taken into consideration in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case, this information could have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received a new response. So to avoid that problem, we mapped the information. So as I've mapped the details, now I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. So over here you can see that I have received a response and this here is a positive response. That means an email would have been sent to this lead. So I'm going to take you to that email as well. So over here you can see that the subject line goes as exciting offers for our customers. Over here you can see the image which I've added in the template. And here after dear you can see the name of the lead. And this here is the code which I've added in my template. So that means the campaign which I wanted to send to the leads is successfully sent. But before moving ahead, there is one step left. So as in this Google Sheets, you can see that there are other leads as well. And I want to send the same campaign to these leads as well. So in order to do that, I will simply go to extensions. I will go to Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And over here, I'm going to click on Send All Data. So by clicking on Send All Data, I have made sure that this campaign should be sent to all of these leads. So now taking you back to Pabbly Connect. So this automation was a successful one. That means the Mailmodo campaign which I have created, it will be successfully sent to the leads whose details I've added in a Google Sheet. So over here, let me show you the other emails as well. So here you can see that these are the emails that have been sent. So as this was my dummy ID, that is why all the emails are received on this ID. But when you are going to run this workflow in real time and you're going to add the lead details of the actual leads, then automatically the campaign will be sent to those leads. So as this automation was a successful one, so if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications and create amazing automations by using Pabbly Connect. So you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can write us to https://forum.pabbly.com, and for pricing related issues, you can visit this link. So you can create a lot more automations by using Pabbly Connect, and don't forget to share these videos with your friends, colleagues. Subscribe to our channel for more.